here on Sandy Beach, and not far from naturally Superior. I walked here yesterday with Vaughn and Marny Chauvin. And the story, this gorgeous beach that you see people standing at now and enjoying, and it is a nice warm July day. I don't know the temperature, but it's really pleasant. Is a story of change and the efforts of students and their teacher.
I had a wonderful group of students that worked on a dune restoration project here on Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach has been around for a long time, as you can tell, as many beaches in Lake Superior are. Glenn Gould used to come here for inspiration. A.Y. Jackson painted on this beach. In fact, his home was just down at the end of this beach.
And these are all part of the group of 7 artists?
A.Y. Jackson's a group of 7. Glenn Gould is a Canadian pianist.
Oh, okay.
And he's world renowned. He died, I think, in the early 80s or late 80s, I'm not sure. Anyway, what was happening was this beach was getting loved to death about 10, 15 years ago. And people were driving up the sand dunes and ripping up the marm grass. And the pathway down through here had been suffering from what's known as blowout. And blowout is the state where the wind tunnels up the path and blows the sand out. And when I first moved here 27 years ago, we used to have to climb over the dune to get to the beach. And now there's a pathway through it, and there's a boardwalk through it. Now the boardwalk comes way out to here. The purpose of the boardwalk was to trap the sand, and it's certainly done that. But anyway, to start the story, around 1998, Joel Cooper down the beach, who lives down the beach, noticed that there were a lot of recreational vehicles or trucks getting on the beach, racing up the dunes, pulling up the marm grass, and kind of denuding the dunes, and the dunes were blowing into the parking lot. And so I had an environmental club at the high school, and they were interested in maybe doing something about this. And so the first thing we did was came down and started rerouting with snow fences and things, hoping that people would not travel the pathways and degrade the sand dunes. We partnered with the Ministry of Transportation and our municipality, and the MTC gave us the posts, and the municipality dug the holes for us, and the kids planted the posts so that the trucks couldn't get through onto the beach. They posted a nice sign saying, "Let's preserve our beach." And then they removed the very old outhouse, and we replaced it by an outhouse that was constructed in the construction classes at the high school.
Great.
And then in the fall, because that's the best time to do it, we came down and I brought some science classes as well as the environmental club, and we transplanted the marm grass. And we transplanted it into the sensitive areas. And this hill over here was practically, this side over here was practically denuded of marm grass, and it's all been, it's all grown back really well.
You said in the fall you would come out in the fall?
In the fall, yeah, the fall, because the roots seemed to be developing then. What little information there was about transplanting marm grass told us that you do it in the late fall. So we were down here October, mid-October, and we spent an afternoon, and the first time we transplanted, we kind of counted the first time. The next few times we didn't bother counting, but the first time we were transplanting like 1,500 plants, and you just dig them up. Like this would be a nursery area where it's very, very thick. It's also protected so that it's kind of down in a gully. So we dug up a lot of clumps, and then we'd break the clumps up, and then we just plant them in the ground in no particular pattern because we didn't want to make it look too regimented.
Good idea.
And then we just bury them down about 3 inches and hope that they were going to take. And a lot of them did. The second year we came back and checked out the areas that hadn't done as well, the marm grass, and we transplanted again. And some of the areas, like some of the steeper slopes, they didn't hold the marm grass very well. Some of the less steep slopes were really good. So one of our dreams was to build a boardwalk to trap the sand and to provide an easy access for somebody that might not be quite as agile as someone else. And we were able to do that because we wrote about our project and submitted the project to the SeaWorld Busch Gardens Environmental Excellence Awards, and we won.
So great.
The first international group, the first group outside of the U.S. that had won that award. And we won $10,000 US, which translated to $16,000 Canadian.
Wow.
And so that was the start of the money that we were able to then do some more fundraising. Kids would go around to local groups and do a PowerPoint presentation and talk about it and get people to commit money or to commit in kind or time donations. And so we got all kinds of people. And the local building center gave us the material. It's the plastic wood from recycled plastic at cost. We had the high school construction classes were involved in this. There was a gentleman from the Sioux who was a landscaper who came and helped us engineer the boardwalk.
More of the signage here.
Then we put a big sign up at the top.
Yeah, let's go up there and look at that.
This was the original group. It started in about 1999. That was the first year we did some transplants, and we put the big rock in the way, and we planted the posts here that are still there. And I guess this is a picture of some of the damage that was done, and you can see the pictures of the trucks right down on the beach.
So there was some of that marn grass left. And some
there was lots.
HP.
Well, this is just one area, and there was other places like through this V here. It was all denuded of marm grass because it had just the sand had just blown away. And then this is again in the fall, and this is the final year in 2003. No, I guess that's in the spring of 2003. We had put our ducks in a row, and we got a group of people out, and we built the boardwalk. And the boardwalk actually goes a lot further than where it seems to end on the beach, simply because it's doing its job, which is trapping sand. And you can see how much, I mean, if you go and look, you can see here how it was on top of the sand, and now the sand practically covers the boardwalk.
That's true.
So.
And now most of those kids are in their 20s, and you were telling me yesterday a lot of professionals, and this kind of project is something they'll come back and
we got doctors,
be able to share with their kids.
Doctors, teachers, lawyers.
It's great.
It's amazing.